This video will be covering the difference quotient, and so the definition of the difference quotient is f of x plus h minus f of x all over h, where h does not equal 0. The difference quotient is used to find the average rate of change of a function and is used in calculus to find the derivative and the slope of the secant line. It is similar to the slope of a line, but the difference quotient is used to find the slope of more complex curves and functions, not just straight lines. And so let's do a couple example problems. So for this problem, the first step will to be plug everything in. So in the definition of the difference quotient, we have f of x plus h minus f of x. So everywhere we see x in our function, we're going to plug in x plus h. X plus h squared plus 2, then minus f of x, which is just our original equation, all over h. Now we can expand the x plus h squared and distribute the negative sign. This will equal x squared plus 2xh plus h squared plus 2. Then distributing the negative sign, we'll have negative x squared minus 2 all over h. Now we can cancel like terms. So we have a negative x squared and a positive x squared, a negative 2 and a positive 2. And so we're left with 2xh plus h squared, which these terms both have h in them. So this will equal 2xh plus h squared all over h. And now we can factor out an h. So h, then 2x plus h all over h. And we can cancel the h's now. And this will equal 2x plus h, which is your answer. So for this problem, the first step will be to plug everything in. So from our definition, we have f of x plus h minus f of x. So f of x plus h, we are going to plug in x plus h everywhere we see x in our function. So 2x plus h squared minus 3x plus h. Make sure this is in parentheses. Minus then f of x, so just our function in parentheses, 2x squared minus 3x all over h. Now we just simplify, and so we'll simplify the first part first. So x plus h squared equals 2, then x squared plus 2xh plus h squared. Then we can distribute this negative 3. So minus 3x minus 3h. Actually, Then we can distribute this negative sign. So negative 2x squared plus 3x all over h. So now we can distribute this too. So 2x squared plus 4xh plus 2h squared minus 3x minus 3h minus 2x squared, then plus 3x all over h. So now we can cancel out. So we have a negative 2x squared and a positive 2x squared. We have a negative 3x and a positive 3x. And so now our equation will be 4xh plus 2h squared minus 3h all over h. So what we can do is factor out an h so we can cancel this h since all terms have h's. So this will then equal h 4x plus 2h minus 3 all over h. Now we can cancel out these h's. And this will equal 4x plus 2h minus 3. And that is your answer. So another problem can be f of x equals x squared plus 5x minus 10. Then we have the definition of the difference quotient, which is f of x plus h minus f of x all over h. So the first step will be to plug everything in. So f of x plus h, we'll plug in x plus h everywhere we see an x. X plus h squared plus 5 x plus h minus 10 minus f of x, which is just our original equation, x squared plus 5x minus 10 all over h. Now we can simplify. So we'll start by expanding x plus h squared and distributing the negative sign and distributing the 5. So x squared plus 2xh plus h squared plus 5x plus 5h minus 10. Then we can distribute the negative sign. So negative x squared minus 5x plus 10 all over h. We'll then cancel like terms. So we have a negative x squared right here and a positive x squared, a negative 10 and a positive 10, a negative 5x and a positive 5x. And so we'll be left with 2xh plus h squared plus 5h all over h. Two xh plus h squared plus 5h all over h, All these terms have h's, so we'll factor out an h. And we can cancel these h's. And we'll be left with 2x plus h plus 5. And that is your answer. For this problem, step 1, we'll plug in x plus h everywhere we see x. So 3 minus x plus h minus then f of x, which is 3 minus x, all over h. So now we can expand this, simplify it by distributing this negative sign, then distributing the second negative sign, which will then equal 3 minus x minus h minus 3 plus x all over h. We can cancel out like terms now. So 3, negative x, x. And this will equal negative h over h, which equals negative 1. For this problem, step 1, we're going to plug in x plus h into our function. So x plus h squared, then minus f of x, so x squared, all over h, which then equals, we'll expand x plus h squared, so x squared plus 2xh plus h squared minus x squared all over h. We can combine terms, negative x squared, and we'll be left with 2xh plus h squared all over h. Since both these terms have h, we can factor out the h, which will then be 2x plus h all over h. We can cancel these h's now, the h, and we're left with 2x plus h, which is the answer. Another problem, we'll have f of x equals 2x squared minus x. Then we have our definition. So step 1 will be plugging in x plus h everywhere we see x. So 2x plus h squared minus x plus h minus f of x, which is 2x squared minus x all over h. We can expand x plus h squared, distribute the negative sign of x plus h, then distribute the negative sign before 2x squared minus x. So 2x squared plus 2xh plus h squared minus x minus h, then minus 2x squared plus x all over h. Now we can distribute this 2. So 2x squared plus 4xh plus 2h squared minus x minus h minus 2x squared plus x all over h. We can combine terms, so negative 2x squared plus x minus x. And now we're going to be left with 4xh plus 2h squared minus h over h. All these terms have h in them, so we can factor out an h. So we'll have 4x plus 2h over h, actually a negative 1. We can cancel these h's now. And we're left with 4x plus 2h minus 1. And that is your answer. So another problem, you can have f of x equals x squared minus 4x plus 3. Then we have the definition, f of x plus h minus f of x all over h. So the first step will be plugging in x plus h everywhere we see x. So x plus h squared minus 4x plus h plus 3, then minus f of x. So we'll have x squared minus 4x plus 3 all over h. We can then expand x plus h squared, distribute the negative 4, and then distribute the negative sign. X squared plus 2xh plus h squared minus 4x minus 4h plus 3 minus x squared plus 4x minus 3 all over h. We can then cancel terms. So we have negative 3 and a positive 3, negative x squared, positive x squared, positive 4x, and a negative 4x. And so we're left with 2xh plus h squared minus 4h over h. So 2xh plus h squared minus 4h over h. We can factor out an h since all terms have an h. So h 2x plus h minus 4 over h. These h's will then cancel. And we are left with 2x plus h minus 4.